Hey, how's it going everyone? Today we're going to be trying out this Eldrazi reanimation deck in Timeless. What I'm trying to achieve with this deck is I want to reanimate Ulamog with 6 counters, so Annihilator 6, and attack with it all on my second turn. We can accomplish that by evoking Grief, pitching a Troll. That way when Ulamog comes into the battlefield, it will have at least 6 counters on it. And on our second turn, we could Dark Ritual, play a Bitter Reunion, maybe discarding the Ulamog or another card, and then we can use a Reanimate on Ulamog and then sack the Bitter Reunion to give it haste and attack and wipe the opponent's board. That's obviously like the dream scenario, but we are playing Breaker of Creation too. That card works really well with Persist since it's not a legendary card, but it's still a very powerful Annihilator 2 card. We'll never get to gain the life because we're only planning to play it through the graveyard. I think everything else is kind of your stock reanimation stuff. We got Faithless Looting to help us put cards in our graveyard and find our reanimation spells. I think having the haste factor with Bitter Reunion is a really cool thing. So let's see if we can scam some people with this all-out Eldrazi reanimation deck. This video is brought to you by Hollandaise. Alright, a 1-lander, and it's a tap lander too, and we're on the draw. So, not a huge fan of this one. I guess we have to keep this. Since I don't have Faithless Looting, I probably just put back a Breaker. Alright. I'm gonna play the Supplier. I need to get something in my graveyard. Okay. So we got a Breaker of Creation, so next turn I can Persist. So let's Grief, exile our Grief. I'm just assuming we're playing against Show and Tell. Okay, maybe not. Blue-white control. Assuming blue-white control. They're gonna hide a couple cards they don't want us to take. Really? I care about counter spells? What does this do? Cost 2 less to cast if there are no instant or sorcery cards in your hand. When it enters the battlefield, return target instant and sorcery card from your graveyard to your hand. Okay. I honestly don't really care too much about any of these cards. I mean, we're guessing they put back on top the stuff that they don't want us to take. So I'm going to take the Revealed, I guess. Like, maybe they need that other land. And we're just going to Persist on that Breaker. I could get Grief back, but come on. This thing has Annihilator 2. How do they deal with this? The protection from each color is okay. A kicked Orem's Chant. Well, that will do it. Like, how do they deal with this? Oh, the one specific card that could deal with it, they played. They keep reading Breaker of Creation. Like, what do I do for this? Do you have a Supreme Verdict? You can't target it. Hexproof from each color.
No, I am not making this up as I go.
Alright, that should be GG's. Breaker of Creation. Cannot be stopped. Alright, Mana Gorger. I know I played against this person quite a bit. This is like a big old nothing burger, really. I mean, I guess I can Faithless Looting. We'll try it. I mean, we do some stuff, but we gotta hit. We gotta hit with this Faithless Looting. And the problem too is the land comes into play tapped. There's Reanimate. So we can cycle to Troll, get a Swamp, play Reanimate. And I'm actually going to get Breaker. I think Breaker has a better chance of surviving. They got my Bitter Reunion. If I had an untapped land, plus that Bitter Reunion, we could be going ham. I guess if I get... Okay, well now I can kind of choose and see what I want to get. Like, I would worry about Static Prison for Ulamog. And I worry about Breaker of Creation. I mean, they could just block it and it will die. But that being said, it would annihilate to... I think we just grief first. Yeah, I think we take amulets. Let's just go get a swamp. So now it's time to reanimate. I mean... We'll just lose 10 life. But that's a big annihilator. They have to sack their board. Annihilator 6. They have to find a static prison, basically. If they find static prison, then I guess we lose. That's why I wanted to take the amulet, give them less of a chance to find a static prison. Or they could have like swords to plowshares, I guess. A goblin bombardment. So what does that do? Actually, it might be close, right? So they can do 2. They're gonna make some 1/1s. Let's see, are we actually dead or do we go to 1? Because they just make 2, right? So Annihilator 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I guess we still lose. I think we still lose. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. They can attack here. Maybe 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah. They keep the bombardment, the 2 prides, then they have attack for 2. And then they can just sack the 2 tokens that it makes. Or they could do it like that. Why would they do that? Because now they can only hit me for 1. Okay. I'm actually gonna Dark Ritual on Faithless Looting. Yeah, let's just do all this. Get all these lands out. Since I didn't find something I wanted to keep on top. Man, if we only had a way to put one of these in the graveyard. This hand does nothing. This does stuff. So I might actually just put back Grief, Faithless Looting. Well, I need probably at least 1 creature to put in the graveyard, right? But then it's like, what do I put back? You know what? Let's get lucky. It's probably wrong. No. Losing the dice roll is terrible. Are we gonna get Grief too? Okay. Well, we gotta Reanimate. Alright, give me a couple creatures. Those are not creatures. 2 cards we don't want. I guess I could have kept, like... I could have put back a Persist and kept a Ritual. That seems bad. Alright, Supplier's gonna give us another chance. Come on, Supplier. Yes, there's a Ulamog, but it's not gonna have anything exiled. So I think I actually just might use Reanimate on... I could use Reanimate on the Troll, and then use Persist on Ulamog. That way I only have to lose 6 instead of 10. Do you have Surgical? That's dirty. That's very dirty. I wonder if they have another one for Ulamog next turn. Well, that means Ulamog's going to be much... He's going to have a big Annihilator. Hopefully they don't have another Surgical. Okay, it's a lot of Dark Rituals. Sorin. Which one is it? The worst possible one. right, so we're gonna go... No! No, 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 no. Why would they have that? We're not gonna beat that. Okay, we'll keep this. We'll try this. I think I might just go with Stitcher Supplier here. Since I don't have anything in my hand, I want to discard from Faithless Looting. Alright, that's perfect. Persist on Breaker of Creation is exactly what we want. Oh, and we're playing against Energy, so I feel pretty good. I don't really think they have a great way to deal with that. I think we'll just pass. I could have probably attacked with the Supplier, actually. But what's going to get them is this Annihilator too, and I don't think there's a way for them to get this off the battlefield. Since all they really have is like Lightning Bolts, Galvanic Discharge, Static Prison. I guess they can gain some life. They can sack some of the 1/1s and then... Well, no, this still puts them in a pretty tough spot. Because they have to sack 2 permanents, and then they would need to sack their 2 lands and then triple block this. So I think they're pretty much screwed. But let's Faithless Looting. Probably don't need that, and I want to use Persist here. Just take a little peek. Ob Nixilis. A Discharge, a Sorin. I don't know. I mean, how are they going to deal with this Annihilator too? That's what I want to know. There is really no reason to persist on Grief. We could have Faithless Looting, maybe tried to find another breaker, but... Got 1 mana. Can discharge on my Grief, pump something. And so now I guess they sack a guide and then this cat token. Alright. Let me get something. I said, let me get something. I think I just discard Dark Ritual and... So I can't, like... Okay. So next turn we can get back Ulamog. Won't have any counters on it though. Another Pride. Actually, that might be bad for us. Can we attack here? They sacked these 2 tokens. I probably could have attacked. Okay, they sacked the land. They're all in. Alright, well guess what? It's coming back. Alright, now you have to sack all your permanents. Opponent is gonna die in the most frustrating way. Alright. I was kind of worried about that one. Man, I don't have any reanimation spells, but I can Thoughtseize plus Grief on my first turn. So, they're playing energy. That almost makes me want a Faithless Looting. Maybe next turn we can Dark Ritual, Faithless Looting, discard Ulamog, maybe Grief. There's Reanimate. Okay. All right, here's what we're gonna do. This is what you're gonna do. Let's go to Blood Crypt. Play a Dark Ritual. Let's Faithless Looting. This is like a super risky play. Actually, let me think. Problem is they have this Flage. Okay, Persist is better. So now we can discard Grief. Discard Grief, Ulamog. And then we Grief. We evoke Grief, pitching Troll, and then Persist. That way, Ulamog comes in with 6 counters on it. And we get to get rid of this Flage. And we don't take 10 damage from the Reanimate, so getting Persist was actually... Wait, no, we can't Persist on a Legendary. We're gonna take the 10 from Reanimate, I guess is what I'm saying. But we can do both. It's worth. Alright, don't be a Flage. That is annihilate your board. Just don't have a lightning bolt. Trying to think what else would kill me. All right. GG's. All right, what's going on here? We have pretty much everything we want. Other than like a Dark Ritual to give Breaker of Creation haste, but this is pretty good. I actually think I start with the Thoughtseize here. Actually, I mean, I don't really have a great way. I need to draw Dark Ritual. That's really what it is. But maybe this Thoughtseize hits. Or they're just playing control. They have a Dark Ritual. I guess they can do a turn 2 ring. This Bojuka Bog is not good too. I think Mana Drain's probably the most annoying for me. Like I can get around a ring, I think. But really what I need is either Supplier hits or I draw a Dark Ritual. Because if I have to go Bitter Reunion, discard this Breaker, it's terrible. Alright, come on, Stitcher. Ooh, it's going to be an Ulamog with no Annihilator. So now they can Dark Ritual, play a ring. I mean, this Ulamog isn't even like that good right now. Just a 7/7 that I paid 10 life for. Without the Grief combo, I feel like Ulamog's not very strong. I would have much rather had this Breaker. At least I'm like guaranteed some Annihilation. But I'm assuming they just Dark Ritual play a ring. And there is the ward ability, which I guess is pretty good, but probably not relevant here. Let's go ahead and play the Reunion. I mean, we go ahead and discard this. Yikes. Like, I want them to play this Bojuka Bog first. Before I run out this Faithless Looting.
I'd rather avoid a fight, but I'm not so easily defeated.
Well, all you can do is plus.
Think before you act.
I would wager they have some more counter magic for us. With no Bojuka Bog play. Man, I don't think I can play in Thoughtseize right now. I think really I just want to reanimate. Just really want to see if I can get lucky with the Persist. I mean, Reanimate's great, but not so good when you're at 4 life. What are they going to get? Mana Drain on top? They're going to draw Mana Drain. Go ahead and sack 0 permanents. I mean, I probably don't need a Dark Ritual or the land. Alright. I can win in 2 turns. Which feels like a eternity here. And they got Tamiyo plus a ring. If they Fatal Push Supplier, then they probably have... There's the Persist we wanted. They probably have a... like an Edict or something for Ulamog. Or they're going to play the Bajuka Bog here. Get rid of everything. If they don't plus now, they're dead. Well, they're going to die to the ring, right? Unless they have a way to deal with the ring or Ulamog. Could they die to their own ring? Dark Ritual. Bowmaster makes a blocker. Okay, they must have another Bowmaster. I was like, I could reanimate. I think we're dead either way, though. Alright, they gotta have another Bowmaster, right? There's only one in the graveyard. Oh, they're digging. Don't have another Bowmaster. They had the other Bowmaster. GG's. Man, this hand is so close. I could... If I can just hit a land. If I can just hit a land. Nah. Alright, we can... What? Dark Rituals. Get really lucky from a Supplier. I mean, I could pitch Grief. I can always just do the normal... Let's pitch Grief to Stitcher. And reanimate it. The classic scam play. Alright, we'll leave this in the video, obviously.